Hello everyone, it's that college football guy here with another video. I thought about making the review for the Saturday games, for the late games. I did the one earlier for the early games. I was going to do it early this morning, get it over with. I had some stuff to do, and I said, you know what, maybe just in case something happens, I'll do it later in the day. Yeah, something happened. Now I'm wearing a little red right now just to remind everybody about the fact that Scott Frost got fired, which... Yikes. So I'm going to go through, instead of going through the whole top 25, I'm going to make a video after this one, which is going to be, I'm going to at least follow the AP top 25, talk about that through it, and then I'm going to do my top 25. But right now we're going to go through, I'm only going to pick 4 games I'm going to go through, which were the 4 to me that were the most interesting. First off, we're going to start off with, what else? Georgia Southern traveling to Lincoln and beating Nebraska 45-42. What happened here? Well, why don't we go through a little bit of the stats here, and we'll see what the key things are. You tell me. Like, Casey Thompson for Nebraska went 23 of 34 for 318 yards, 1 touchdown, no INTs, 84.0 QBR. Not bad. Team rushed for 47 carries for 257 yards, 5 touchdowns, averaging 5.5 a carry. Not bad at all. They had 633 yards of total offense. That's insane how much offense they had. But the one thing on there, I heard somebody on there just taking a shot at Timmy Bleakroad, the kicker for Nebraska, who went 0 for 1 on field goals. He's the reason we lost. Guys, your defense. Okay, your defense didn't get a sack against Georgia Southern's offensive line. You did not get 1 sack. You had 2 picks, forced 4 punts, but what happened? Then you look at Georgia Southern. You had Kyle Van Treese. He was 37 of 56 for 409 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 INTs. Hit an 80.4 QBR. He gave away the game. Maybe the reason Nebraska was close. Team rushing, there were 30 carries for 233 yards, 5 touchdowns themselves, 7.8 yards a carry. They had 653 yards of total offense, 20 more than Nebraska. Their kicker actually made his field goal. That was Alex Rayner, big one on there. And their defense didn't get a pick, but they did have 2 sacks. And they only forced Nebraska to, Nebraska punted 4 times. Georgia Southern only punted once. Once. You didn't get a sack, and you only forced 1 punt. And you wonder why you lost. Bad play calling and the defense stinking. And everybody said, oh, Clay Helton was a bad coach. Clay Helton's a bad coach. No, Clay Helton for USC was a bad coach. Clay Helton can coach. And he's got Georgia Southern 2-0 in his first year. So, hey. So, Sun Belt on the upset alert. They had 2 top 10 upsets and then follow it up with beating Nebraska. Sun Belt had a week for the ages, folks. Now, yeah, I know, I'm bending down over here on the camera, you're seeing this stuff. I should put this stuff up like a little bit higher where I can get to it a little easier, like maybe put it over here. Love my kids' artwork, huh? Let's talk about the second game here, because the fact is, Scott Frost got fired. But is Neal Brown next? I mean, Kansas. We did horns down. Because Kansas beat Texas last year. I don't know, what was West Virginia? Mountaineers down now? 55-42 in overtime. We're going like, wait. What? How the hell do you lose like that in overtime? Kobe Bryant. And I don't mean the late Kobe Bryant. I mean Cobee, Kobe Bryant, the defensive back. West Virginia scored a touchdown in overtime. Excuse me. Kansas scored a touchdown in overtime. West Virginia was driving, and Kobe Bryant did an 86-yard pick six to seal this thing up. That's why that score was that way. But let's look at West Virginia's scoring offense, what they did. Well, JT Daniels was 28 of 40 for 355 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 INT. Not bad. A 77.2 QBR. That's decent. Team rushing wise, 38 carries, 146 yards, 2 touchdowns. It's averaging 3.8 yards a carry. 533 yards of total offense. I mean, this is one thing that's been here. Like, their kicker, was it Leg here? I think his name is. Forgive me if I get it wrong. I think his name's Leg. 2 for 2 in field goals, 4 for 4 in extra points. He did his job. Then you have Kansas's offense. You don't have JT Daniels, you have Jalen Daniels. 18 of 29, 219 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 picks, 95.7 QBR. There's your story right there. Team rushing down there, they're 36 carries for 200 yards, 4 touchdowns, 5.6 yards a carry. That's getting it done, folks. That's getting it done. They did a good job with that one. And their kicker was 7 for 7 in extra points. 449 yards of total offense. And their defense didn't get a single sack, but they had 1 pick six when it counted. With Neal Brown, I don't know if you're watching this, and I seriously doubt you are, but Neal Brown, you're not a Troy anymore. You're not in the Sun Belt. You lost to a Sun Belt team. You're not in the Sun Belt anymore. You're in the Big 12. This will not get it done. I'm sorry, dude. It's just not going to do it. You are just not going to get it done. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room game, the top 10 matchup. Whew, how about Kentucky beating Florida in Gatesville 26-16? How did Florida lose this game this bad? Because I picked Florida to win, and I look stupid. Anthony Richardson was the reason they won last week. Anthony Richardson is the reason they lost this week. Listen to this line for Anthony Richardson. 14 of 35, 143 yards, 0 touchdowns, 2 INTs, 1 fumble. Get ready. 3.8 QBR. 3.8. Couldn't even get 10. 3.8 QBR. The worst of anybody, by far. Total offense, some rushing. They had 30 carries for 136 yards and 1 touchdown, averaging 4.5 yards a carry, 350 yards of total offense. I mean, the defense had 3 sacks and a pick, but 3.8 QBR? Good grief. No wonder why you lost. Then you look at Will Levis, who was 13 of 24, not exactly lighting it up, for 202 yards with a touchdown and an INT. He had a 40.4 QBR. How can you have a 40.4 QBR and it's 10 times better than your opponent? Wrap your head around that thought. Team rushing, 38 carries for 70 yards, 1.8 yards a carry, 1 touchdown, 287 yards of total offense. But how did Kentucky win this game? Well, they had 1 sack and they had 2 picks, including Keydon, forgive me if I'm saying his name wrong, and I apologize, Keydon Smith, who had a 65-yard pick 6. That's the reason why they won the game, folks. I mean, the defense stepped up big. And then, I'm sorry. Scotty, I'm sorry. But the game I called, I got this one right at least. BYU beating Baylor, another top 10, 25 matchup. BYU beating Baylor 26-20 in overtime. The way this was going, I thought Baylor was actually going to beat, and I was going to lose another big game. But nope. I mean, Baylor, was Blake Sharper here. 18 of 28 for 137 yards, 1 touchdown, 35.9 QBR. Not exactly lighting the world on fire. Offense, rushing-wise, there were 52 carries for 152 yards, 2 touchdowns, averaging 2.9 yards a carry, 260 yards of total offense. I mean, the defense forced a couple sacks, but no picks. I mean, this wasn't... Defense did not look good. And then for BYU, I think it's Jaron Hall. 23 of 39, 261 yards, 1 TD, no interceptions, 69.4 QBR. Practically doubling Baylor's QBR. 33 carries for 83 yards, 1 touchdown, 2.5 yards a carry. And that 1 touchdown was I get this name right, Lapini Katoa. 3-yard touchdown, rushing touchdown, OT. That's their only rushing touchdown. And they had 371 yards of total offense. The defense didn't get any INTs on there, but they did have 4 sacks. But this was just a ground and pound, grit and grind, beat it out, and BYU at home, as I figured Baylor would have trouble on the road. And they did. It was just too much late. What a great week. Scott Frost fired. So tell me, everybody in the comments, what were the games that you liked the most? And tell me, you think Neal Brown is going to be the next one out the door? Because right now, I'm beginning to wonder. So please, everybody, like, comment, and subscribe. Everything helps the analytics, please. It helps the channel grow. We want to try to get this thing out as many eyes as possible. What a week. All right, everybody. Thanks, everybody, for watching the video. And as always, please be good to each other.